Hello again. Today we are going to talk about the count 'em five senses. But more than that, I'm going to give you one verb for each of the five senses, and we're going to talk about using that verb as an action verb and a being verb. That's right, all of these verbs on the board can be used as either an action verb or a being verb. So remember, verbs are really important words in sentences. They are necessary. We can't have a sentence without at least one verb. But verbs act differently. Action verbs tell you that the subject, the noun that is the subject of the sentence, it tells you what that subject is doing. However, being type verbs, which might also be called helping verbs or linking verbs, but the most common of those is the be verb, these kinds of verbs, the subject isn't doing anything. They just connect more information, usually an adjective or some sort of adjective idea, to the subject, just to give you more information about the subject. So, hopefully you know what your five senses are. If you don't, I have them here. We have your sense of sight, your sense of hearing, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, I'm not going to show you my tongue, and your sense of touch. All of these senses are important for you to get information from the world. And remember that language, grammar, English, or any other language is the way that you communicate that information to other people. So using your five senses is really important when it comes to your speaking and your writing. And it will also help you with your reading because, well, that's how we imagine to sense fictional worlds, pretend worlds, or just things we read in books or magazines. So let's look at these five verbs that we're going to talk about today. The first one is look. So if I want to use look as an action verb, then I have to be doing the action. I have to look at something. So I can look around the room. That's me doing something, okay? So that would be look as an action verb. But I can also use look as a being verb. I can say, you know what? That sandwich over there, it looks rotten. So maybe I can't smell it yet, maybe I don't know, but I can look and I'm not saying the sandwich is looking at rotten, that doesn't make any sense. I'm saying the sandwich could be rotten. And that's one of the ways that you can tell the difference between the action and the being. If you can insert the be verb in for this verb, then you know it's being used in this way. So if I say the sandwich looks rotten, you could think about the sandwich is rotten. Now remember, these don't mean the same thing. One is a sense, and the other is actually the way it is. But if you can fit this word in, then you know what kind of verb you're using. Let's give you some more examples and go through it. So, sound. This one we don't often use as an action verb, but you might find it. I could say, the TV sounds out a melody. Maybe I'm watching a music station. I could say, the cymbal sounds, and I could stop right there. And that just means that something is making noise. Again, you won't come across this as an action verb very often, but it's possible. More likely, you're going to use sound in this way. You're going to say, man, that sounds noisy. And I could say, that is noisy. So you can tell the way it's being used. Our next one is smell, right? I can say, oh, that tea smells delicious. Now, which one am I doing? You saw me doing the action, but I'm actually describing the tea. That was the be. I could say, I smell the tea, and now it's an action. So I smell the tea, Oh, and it smells delicious. Okay? Taste. Same thing. I might taste some candy and go, oh, that tastes sour. Some students really like sour candies. I'm not a big fan of the sour. Ugh, just makes my mouth go all weird. I'm describing the taste of the candy. And again, I could say, it is sour. Or I can say, I taste the candy. Okay, in which case I am actually doing the thing. Now, last one is feel. I can feel that my shirt has been cleaned. That's good. I don't want to wear dirty clothes. I can feel that it's nice and neat. I can use my hands and I can touch. And that is one way that I can feel something. And then I can say, wow, you know what? My shirt feels soft. And if I change it and I use the be verb, it would be, my shirt is soft. So, that is one way in which you can use your 5 senses and these 5 verbs as both action and being verbs. Let's review.
Action or being 1. The 5 senses. Why are verbs important? We can't have a complete sentence without at least one verb. What do action verbs do? They tell you what the subject is doing. What are being verbs? These kinds of verbs connect or give more information, usually an adjective, to the subject. What are the 5 senses? The 5 senses are sight, hearing, smell, taste, and feel. Why are all of these 5 senses important in language? All of these senses are important for us to get information from the world. Language is the way that we communicate that information to others. Why are the 5 senses important in reading? Using the 5 senses is how we imagine to sense fictional and imaginary worlds.